This morning, forgive me, I've become very emotional. This morning we're talking about burns. And burns could come in different ways. And it can happen to you. It can happen to me. And so please tell a friend to pay attention to this conversation because it is very, very important. I'm joined this morning by Judith Kato Addison. She's the founder for Beyond Burns International, which is an NGO helping persons who have burns, have survived burns, and she herself is a burn survivor. Good morning, Judith.
Good morning, Serwaa.
And Serwaa, is it Ampon or Ompon? Ompon is the Deputy Chief Nursing Officer for the National Reconstructive Plastic Surgery and Burns Center. Mamines, good morning.
Good morning,
you are both welcome to the show. And first of all, Judith, sorry, okay? And well done too. I cannot imagine being a nurse at a burn center. I don't even want to imagine it. But well done. So let me start with Judith. What happened to you, Judith?
When I was 10, I was making food for myself in the kitchen. We had a small kitchen and we had this gas stove on the table. At that time in my neighborhood, there were very few people that used gas. We had we'd been using it for almost a year at the time. And I had just put it on fire. And as a child, you know, when you put something on fire, after every 5 minutes, you are checking, is it ready? At one point, when I wanted to check, I saw that the napkin I had used had this little vapor. You know, it wasn't smoke. It was this little vapor coming out of it. But my infant mind didn't tell me that it was dangerous. I thought, let me just check my food. And before I could take the napkin off, I heard the boom, the explosion, and I was on fire. That's how it happened. There were people around that put water on me, but I wasn't up to like 20 minutes. As I know should have been done at the time. They poured some water on me. My dad had just walked into the house and he heard his daughter was on fire. So he just put me in the car and we headed for the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Wow. Whew. I'm sorry once again, but so since you were 10, how long did it take for you to heal? Do you remember?
It took a little over 2 years for all my wounds to heal. I mean, some healed faster than others. My left leg was in the bandages for that long. Yeah.
For the 2 years?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was going to school with my bandages.
And how was it like?
Fortunately or unfortunately, at the time, I had just entered boarding school. My parents shouldn't have taken me, but that was the best choice for me at the time. So going to school in bandages, of course, already the burns are going to cause a stir, but then there was additional bandages. I have to bath. I have to do activities with everybody. I mean, everybody saw the lowest points of my life at the time. There were children, many did not understand. Of course, there were the comments, the stares, the whispers, all of those things. And then the, silent isolation. You can't do this, you can't do that, And even when I felt capable of doing certain things, people had already determined that you cannot do it because you are not strong enough or you're sick. That was what they used to say, that you're sick.
So you can't do these things.
So with a little spark, it's a little fault, then it spread to the other places. And because we don't have the knowledge that we are supposed to put the main switch off, everybody tends to call the fire service. So if the fire service are not closer by, then it means all the shops are getting burnt.
Wow. So let me come to you, Judith. I mean, this foundation that you have, I'm sure that you certainly, from your story, you decided to do this to help other people. What have you noticed? What has been the trend in terms of burns since you've had this foundation, and what kind of people do you cater to?
Right. Burns are some of the biggest wounds anybody can have. And worldwide, what is seen is that it it happens among people of low socioeconomic standing. The cost of burns is really high. If you want to treat burns, burn care treatment is really high. Many people that fall within this bracket of people getting burned very commonly cannot afford the basic necessities for burn care and treatment. So many people end up wanting external help when they're in the hospital. Of course, the largest cause of burns in our parts is hot water burns. So it's happening a lot among children. Children from 2 weeks to 14 years are getting burned. The other causes is what she has mentioned. But many people need help with paying their bills. But then that speaks a lot to the subject matter for which we are here, World Burns Week. The theme for this year is from burn to recovery, prevention is key. Because we can clearly tell that for our parts of the world, the best thing we can do is to help prevent burns. It doesn't have to happen. The mission of all of this World Burns Week is to say that we want to come to a point where burns are preventable and where access to quality health care is accessible to everybody. So if you already have burns, then we should have good, treatment, and then we do not have to get it if you don't have it already. So prevention is key in our parts because we cannot afford it. We do not have enough personnel to take care of burn survivors. She mentioned that if there are mass burns right now in Ghana, where would we put them? We don't have facilities to start with, and we don't have the personnel. So prevention.
Okay, what's the best way to prevent?
Okay. So in your house, you are going to bath your children. You, the mother or the caregiver in the house, make sure your bucket that you are going to pour your hot water already have your normal water inside before you pour the hot water into the bucket. This morning I had an incident like that where somebody was burning.
Here.
Yeah.
Somebody was burning, not me, but somebody was burning a rubbish. And there was this specialized can, the mosquito spray, the perfumes. They are not supposed to be burnt because they have already a gas inside. Wow. So when you burn, it just explodes. And come and see the person's face and hands are all burnt. Just a small rubbish that he was just burning. So these cans are not supposed to be burned. Please, I'm begging you. When you are burning your rubbish, those sprays should be out, all perfumes out, all cans out. Just burn the rubbish alone. When your gas is leaking, please don't put stone on it. Don't put stone
That one there, lots of us are
on
guilty.
your cylinder. When it's leaking, take it out to the filling stations. Let them change the rubber tube inside. It's just 2 cedis or 3 cedis. That one will cost you more good than spending over thousands in the hospital and the pain and the psychological trauma that you go through. Please, cylinders are not supposed to be in our kitchens and rooms. They are supposed to be outside the building. So that in case of any leakage, it leaks into the air and not into your room to saturate it.
I see. Please, when if you don't remember anything at all, remember not to put stones on your cylinders. Because that one, many people do it.
Yeah.
Even I have done it before.
You're not supposed to do
It's very serious. But, in all of this, the education on burns has been very low. And I have to say a big well done to Obed for doing this story, What are you doing as a foundation to increase awareness?
We have a project called the BAPS project, Burns Awareness Project for Schools.
Okay.
And we go to schools to educate the children about the causes of burns at home.
Okay.
So that when they see hazards, they're able to identify them. Of course, since we came, we've been able to do 5 schools. So yes, we have to increase the scale it up. And yes, it's an issue of funding. But we are working on that. We are looking forward to more collaborations with corporate bodies to help us do these assignments. But yes, we are working on raising awareness. And when there's a time like this, we come on TV, radio, and talk about prevention. Yes.
Okay.
This is a global initiative to throw more light on burns as a global health problem, because for the longest time we haven't, talked about it a lot. People have just thought of it as, oh, it's just a splash of hot water or hot oil, and it doesn't mean a lot. But we are seeing that it's one of the biggest causes of disability and morbidity among people in the world generally. In the whole world, between 180,000 to 300,000 people die every year from burns. So it's clearly a big deal. And yes, that's why we mark World Burns Week.
All right. Thank you so much.